Hello, Melissa here from Little House in the Big Woods. Today I just thought I would take you to the garden and see what I got going on over there. Well, should I say growing on over there. Alright. This garden is by far probably the biggest one I've ever gone and tried to do. So the sun's out, so I hope you'll all be able to see a little bit of what I got. I haven't watered tonight. I usually have been watering at nighttime because that's what is easier, and also I find that the plants hold more water during the day if I do that. So, in this, let's see, this first bed is my asparagus. You can see there's some asparagus popping up quite a bit. And then I have some lettuce and some more broccoli, and then I have some peas that are doing great, but I got to get them trellis before they're not so great. And I have some radishes over there. And then over in this side, I have some, you can see the little corn starting to pop up, and then I also have some more cauliflower and broccoli in this one. Or maybe it's cabbage, I got it confused. And then I did transplant some tot soy in this one, but it just got too hot too fast and it's just bolted. So that's what I'm letting it do. And I also planted some, I think they're Chinese noodle beans there. I have to mention the weather has been quite warm. Yesterday it was like 103, and today I think it was, I don't know, like 93, 95, somewhere in there. So it's been warm. In this bed right here, I have, you can kind of see my rows are never straight. I'm not a perfectionist, so it doesn't bother me. My husband on the other hand is like, you should have got my line and made it straight. But we're gardening. I'm not perfect. So anyways, I have some blue lake bush beans. I got 3 rows on this side, 3 rows on that side, and then again I have, you can kind of see the corn coming up, and that is some Peyton Mountain corn. So this part I'm still working on. I do have some squash planted over there. I know where it's at, so hopefully it doesn't get run over. And then I'll take you over and show you these other ones. But here I have my tomatoes. I was hoping they would do okay, but some of them, because I just transplanted them on Sunday, are showing a little bit of stress, but I'm trying to see how everything goes. So we're letting them, if you can see a little bit of them are stressed. So my son's been helping me put rocks around each of the beds so they know where to go. So out here I have, let's see, 1, 2, I think there's probably 4 rows of corn coming up. And, excuse me, and then I have some more squash at this end so I can let it grow out that way. So you could see my onions right here are coming up good. Let's go over here because there's quite a few more. But all my potatoes are coming up too. So I got 4 rows of them. I think I planted 60 potatoes. So before I would only plant like 2 rows of those. My corn or onions. I think I planted, I was thinking like I think there's probably maybe like 200 and maybe in there somewhere. We'll see what comes up. Onions. And I saved some onions for my mother-in-law, but I don't know if she's going to plant them or not. So I might end up giving those to my neighbor. So, I did this trellis for my tomatoes. And I'm going to run a piece of wood up there at the top so that if it does frost, I'm going to throw a piece of tarp or plastic over the top so that it won't get my tomatoes. So, oh, right here I have some eggplant planted right there. And also down along these rows I have some basil, some spinach, and I think some cilantro. Just a little bit here and there. And when I planted my tomatoes, I also planted my peppers. And there were some that were pretty small, so I'm kind of concerned they're not going to pop up. But in front of my peppers, I have some Japanese wasabi radishes. They were a free package from Baker Creek when I got my seeds. So I have those. But as you can see, let me show you my peppers. They look pretty stressed. So I do have a few more. But I may end up seeing if I can get some starts from somewhere in town for my peppers, because I'm really concerned that they're just not going to stay well. So this heat is just knocking them out. But yeah, here's my peppers. And I do have some other tomatoes, but they're just not big enough to go in the ground yet. And I really wanted to get a lot in the ground so that, you know, with our growing season, that we'd be better off. So these ones were jalapenos, and then I'm pretty sure these ones were a bell pepper. So my objective was to plant abundance so that if I have more than I need, I can share. I have multiple people I can share with. So over here we have this whole trellis thing. I like to plant my cucumbers on trellis, except for I probably should have planted them on the other side of this, because they're still going to try to grow out a little bit on this side. So this side is our Space Saver cucumber, and it's gone all the way down there. So over here I have some okra I planted right there. Also, oh, I have some pumpkins back here, but they don't look very good either. They were all transplants, and unfortunately this heat has probably just taken them. And so I don't know. I was going to look. I'm going to the valley, and oh, that's interesting. Hadn't seen that. But there was a rock here with a peace symbol on it. We didn't paint it, so it must have been buried in the ground. I just came around, and my son's been putting rocks around all the flower beds, or all the garden beds. So anyways, I did plant some more seeds over here for squash over here. So let's see if we can. This is my compost pile I've been moving around, and it looks a mess. I need to get some green on it. I do still have to plant some Brussels sprouts. Also, I planted some zucchinis over there on the other bed. And then the one bed that I didn't show you, let's go over there for a second. So this area over here I have to develop still. And always busy trying to do something, but this heat has stopped me from doing a lot during the day, and the mosquitoes, because during the day they weren't as bad for a couple of days, and then they started coming back out again. But so right here I have more lettuce, and I do have some kale coming up. So I replanted some peas because they weren't coming up. I got some yellow poppies, California poppies coming up, and I have, I don't know if you could see, but a whole bunch of beets coming up there. And over here I have some nasturtiums coming up. Let's go see. I'll take you over, and I do have some more transplants that I do, but with the weather being the way it is, they've just been, I transplanted a bunch of flowers, and I've been watering them, but I don't know if they're going to take. I feel like I should take them back up and put them in a shadier spot or something. So anyways, let's go look at the pigs. They just got their dinner, so they're happy. We had an escapee today. Our ram got out. He didn't go very far. We didn't notice that they had taken down the back half of their pen, so we was able to get them back in there. But okay, so our sheep are wasters. They don't eat everything that we always, sorry about that, we always give them. So what we end up doing is giving them to the pigs. You know, that excess hay we get. Pigs like to either lay on it or they eat it. And right now, I just put in a bunch of pine shavings and everything else today, but it is the season, and I tried to keep it. I thought it would be more shady over here for you anyways, but let's see these guys in here. They like for me to scratch their backs now. So let me see if I can get you a shot of that. I put a bunch of water in here for them because it has been so hot, but also we didn't build a pig waterer yet, and I don't know if we're going to at this point, but they dump their water out all the time. Now, if we're not going to be home for a long period of time, and the weather's going to be hot, because I am out here checking waters regularly in this heat to make sure. See this guy over here? Try to dump it out again. Even though they got water to play in, they're always trying to dump out their water. But I do try to make sure all the animals have water, because they just go through it so fast. So they like to play too. When I bring the stick in, or I bring their food, they're happy. When I bring the water in, they just run around and start playing. What, pigs? What? These flies are just crazy. Anyways, they like to eat those pine needles and pine cones as well. So I'm going to take you over here to show you. Show you. I call them the monsters. So we just got them moved again today, and they're happy. I got to move their. They like to sit on a roost at nighttime, so I stick a stick across there. But what we do to move this is we have two dollies. My sons help me. One gets on one side, one gets on the other. If we have to move it to the side, we, one dolly will get on the side, one dolly will get on the other side. So one dolly will be here, one dolly on the other side. And then if we have to move it forward and backwards, we use the dollies on the front and on the back. It works really well. so I don't have to worry about it. The only thing is you really have to watch you're not grabbing any chicks in there or getting them before you put it down. So these guys are enjoying some fresh grass. And they'll be ready to butcher, I'm going to say, about a month. We could probably go about 3 weeks, but I think there was something that I had to do, I had planned in, so it's probably going to be more like a month before we get them butchered. So, I'll bring you over to show the quail, because we got the quail out. We got, so far, yesterday, one of them laid their first egg. And so today, I went out there to give them more feed and water. And that was the quail. And I have to say that these quail, anytime people or anything come present, that's what they do. So with this little incident that we had, you hear that noise right there. The only time that they do that is usually when they see somebody or, it's another animal or something. So when this person intruded on our property, we've been sleeping with the window open to hear something. And the other night that happened. But luckily my husband didn't find anything. But I have to say that because I know guinea hens are probably like that, but I never knew that quail were similar to that. These quail are, I want to say they are, I think they're 6 or 7 weeks old, and so we just got our eggs. So, but here's how we're doing the quail. So this cage was in the house, and it was standing up. And so I just laid it on the ground. That way they still can, they can get some grass. It did have some doors on the side, and I just zip tied them shut. So far, we've been pretty lucky, and like I say, whenever they see something, they're pretty alert to doing, what it might be. So, if it be an animal or a person. So if anything was to come out, I generally can hear them making that noise. Sometimes they make that noise like first thing in the morning when I'm sitting on the porch and there's some other animals out, birds talking is when you hear it. But usually that's when, if you're standing out there, is when they start making the noise. So let me give you a good shot of what they look like now. Those are the ladies. And there's the males. So, let's go look over at these sunflowers. My strawberries are doing good. My sunflowers are coming up well too. We put our flags up for 4th of July. But you can see the little sunflowers. A whole line of them. I'm so excited to see. I gotta get them. I think what I'm gonna do, I was gonna mow out here, but I think I'm gonna collect some of it so the critters can have it, because they love that red clover. But we're pretty sandy, and so I've got to water pretty frequently over here, everywhere. So around this tree right here, I have some more bush beans, and some more top crop beans coming up. So let's see. Got some of these ones right here. I don't know if you've seen them or not. Whole bunch of ants going in there, and I am pretty sure this is not a fruit tree. If it is, it's a fruitless one because I see no fruit on it. So I wanted to show you my little milk jugs I've repainted. 4th of July is one of my favorite holidays, so I made these for the front of our driveway. I repainted them. I've had them for a long time. Had them at my other house. And I figured out what this tree was over here. We call it a snowball tree, but it was a tree that I got from my mother-in-law, and we planted up here. We had it at our other house. But anyways, it's blooming. And before we moved here and I transplanted it, it was in much bigger bloom. It was much happier then. So I think the winter took a little bit out of it, and I'm planning on hoping to get a few rabbits so I can add some fertilizer to all these, because the ground has been pretty much untouched as far as planting anything. We have a lot of natural plants and stuff, and a lot, mulching and things like that with the pine leaves, or pine needles and pine cones. But I do have some nasturtiums planted with this one, and they're coming up. So anyways, we got some thimbleberry over there, some wild thimbleberry and some service berries. Of course, I was going to do a foraging video on all of this stuff, so maybe you could look forward to that in the future. But anyways, I just kind of wanted to do a little bit of an update to show you what I've got growing. And I've got to go water my garden before it gets too late. So, I hope you're all doing well, and you got, you got your joy and your happiness, and you're having great days, and you're getting your girl on because, oh man, all the cost of everything going on. I will be taking part in a collaboration with Apartment Prepper. I'm going to be doing a meal, so we'll see how that goes. And I wanted to do some other challenges too, but I never got to them, and I think it's too late for some of them. But anyways, well, I hope y'all doing well, and you having a good day. Alright, thanks for stopping by Little House in the Big Woods. Bye.